So often in life, we find ourselves running on a path that isn't truly ours. We set goals, work late into the night, push ourselves to the brink, all in pursuit of dreams that may not even belong to us. Maybe it's the dream your parents had for you, the expectation of society, or the image of success you saw in someone else. But have you ever stopped to wonder, whose dream am I really chasing? Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man named Arjun, born in a small village, where the horizon was always filled with the golden glow of the rising sun, and the field stretched out as far as the eye could see. Arjun was a curious child, always asking questions, always wanting to know how things worked. His heart beat for stories and poems, for painting pictures with words and colors. But in Arjun's village, there was only one definition of success: to become a doctor. Arjun's father was a respected man, a healer, known for his wisdom and gentle hands. He had built his reputation from the ground up, and he wanted nothing more than for his son to follow in his footsteps. The villagers, too, would often pat young Arjun on the head and say, "One day you'll make us proud, Dr. Arjun." And so the dream was planted, not by Arjun, but for Arjun. And so he studied. Long endless nights, poring over textbooks, memorizing facts, practicing diagrams. He saw the pride in his father's eyes every time he aced an exam. He saw the nods of approval from the neighbors. But somewhere deep inside, Arjun felt a quiet ache, a voice whispering that something didn't fit, that a piece of the puzzle was missing. Years passed. Arjun cleared the entrance exams, entered medical school in the city, and from the outside, it seemed like everything was going according to plan. But inside, the emptiness grew. The lectures felt heavy, the hospital walls confining. He found himself scribbling verses on the side of his textbooks, painting scenes in his mind while pretending to listen. But he pushed those feelings aside, telling himself, "This is what success looks like. This is what I'm supposed to do." But the universe has a way of nudging us, ever so gently, toward our true path. One day, in his third year, Arjun's class was asked to volunteer at a rural health camp. He traveled back to a village much like his own to offer free checkups and medicines. After a long day, as the sun dipped below the trees, Arjun sat on the steps of a small schoolhouse, exhausted. A little girl approached him, clutching a tattered notebook. "Will you read my poem?" she asked, her eyes shining with hope. He smiled, taking the notebook. The words were clumsy, the rhymes uneven, but there was something honest and beautiful in that poem. He encouraged her, sharing how he too loved to write. Her face lit up, and she ran off to tell her friends. Soon, a small group had gathered, and Arjun found himself surrounded by children eager to learn, to write, to express themselves. For hours, he sat with them, sharing stories, crafting poems, painting with words. In those moments, Arjun's heart felt light. The ache inside him faded. He realized that his true gift wasn't just in healing bodies, but in touching hearts through stories and creativity. That night, under the stars, Arjun faced a truth he could no longer ignore. He was living someone else's dream. The pride of others had shaped his choices, but it had not filled his soul. He understood that the greatest tragedy is not in failing to reach a goal, but in reaching the top of a ladder only to find it was leaning against the wrong wall. With courage, Arjun made a decision. He finished his studies, honoring the sacrifices his family had made, but he chose to follow his own path. He became a teacher, a writer, a storyteller. He traveled to villages, inspiring children to dream their own dreams, to listen to the voice within. His father, at first disappointed, eventually saw the light in Arjun's eyes, the joy, the fulfillment. The villagers, over time, understood that success is not a single story, but many. Arjun's life became a testament to the power of authenticity, to the freedom that comes from living your own truth. So what can we learn from Arjun's journey? The world will always have expectations. People will project their dreams onto you, sometimes out of love, sometimes out of fear. But only you can hear the true calling of your heart. Only you can feel the spark that comes when you do what you're meant to do. Take a moment right now. Ask yourself, whose dream are you chasing? Pause the noise, quiet the voices around you, and listen. What is it that makes you come alive? What have you always wanted to do, but were too afraid to admit? What would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? Remember, it's never too late to change direction. It's never too late to rewrite your story. The world needs your unique gifts, your perspective, your passion. Imagine a world where everyone lived not by the script handed to them, but by the one they wrote for themselves. How much more beautiful, vibrant, and alive would that world be? If you find yourself on a path that feels wrong, have the courage to step off. If you realize the dream you're chasing isn't your own, dare to dream a new dream. It may be scary, you may disappoint some people, but the only life you get to live is yours. One story, one moment of honesty can change your entire path. Arjun's story is not just his, it's yours, it's mine, it's everyone's who has ever felt the weight of expectation. Let it remind you that your life is a canvas, and you are the artist. Don't let anyone else hold the brush. The world is waiting for you to show up, as yourself. Not as someone else's dream, but as the truest, boldest version of who you are. So stop chasing others' dreams. Start living your own. This is your time, your journey, your story. Make it count.